podcast. This is a tutorial podcast. I'm going to be showing you how to make your own podcast and send it to any of the popular podcast streamers. First, you should upload and download all good images that you find that are not copyright that you can use for later to make a picture for the podcast. Also, download the app Spreaker Studio. It will help a lot. And this is basically what you're going to use for sound effects. This is what you're going to use for editing. This is what you're going to use to record your voice. Also, if you want to watch your videos, make sure to also download the Spreaker Radio. They are both available on iOS and Android. So, yeah. So, to make a good podcast, firstly, go to the settings that says podcasts. Click add new podcast. The little plus sign. When you click that, there will be a pause button on your screen. Not a pause button, it will be a pause button for later. There will be a record button. After you click the record button, there will be a pause button. You would rather choose to go a live stream, or you should choose to make a podcast. If you're going to make a podcast, do that. Next episode, I will show you how to make a live stream. And it will show you a few sound effects that it comes with. If you click add effects, it'll let you add some music, it'll let you add some sound effects. It'll let you add a lot. And then on the top right corner, there's a thing that says chat right beside it says sound effects. And that's just like if you were to do a live stream. And there's a thing that says, why don't you add some songs? Well, that's what it used to look like for me because I added a lot of songs onto there. Alright. And if you click the play button and record, you can just talk stuff. And you can just upload them and stuff. When you upload them, make sure to re-listen over just so that you can get a good idea and hopefully get what you were hoping to have for a product. There's a couple of DJ lines on the home screen. You can turn up the volume, make it really loud, or turn up the volume to medium so that you can talk properly. And then there's a microphone equalizer. You're currently listening. And it kind of just screwed up my thing, but it's alright. Strength, like you can make it really strong, but I don't want to really quite change it. Release, I'm not quite sure what that does yet. And then there's a thing that says push to talk. You don't want to do that because then you have to keep clicking that and keep clicking that. Yeah. So yeah, that's how to do it. That was not funny, but it's educational, okay? Anyway, but before you do any of that stuff, I almost forgot about this. The most important thing is you actually have to think of what you're going to make for a podcast. Like, if you don't make anything for a podcast, there's no point of having it, because you don't want it to be like, I'm going to read you some knock jokes from my favorite book. Here's my really good knock joke. Yeah. Here it is. I married my wife for her looks, but not the ones she's been giving me lately. And knock, who's there? Olive. Olive who? Olive crossed the road. Yeah. Don't do knock jokes unless you're like a stand-up comedian. Oh, that means I only have 8 minutes left, guys, to tell you anything else that you guys need to know. Another thing is, some of these things are really loud, so if you want to do an ASMR video, you don't want to click any of the buttons, because this is one of the loudest ones. This one's pretty loud, and you don't want it to randomly appear in your ASMR video. It would be really sad if that would happen, because, just because, people would be relaxing and sleeping, and then I just came up with this. That would be really sad. So, yeah. Real sad. It's, really sad. If that would happen. So, yeah, if you guys were going to want to actually do one of these, you're going to have to actually upload it to Spreaker, and you have to make sure that you do the same things that you did to log on to this app, the Spreaker Studio. And then it's going to take a while, and probably the first thing you're going to get into is Apple Music or Spotify. And then a couple days later, 2 weeks later, because the episode has to be 2 weeks long, 2 weeks old. And once you get that, you're going to be able to be streaming podcasts all the time. Real fun. And I'm going to go set up a bunch of my podcast accounts just so that I'm so ready to do it all. And I just started doing this podcast a couple days ago, and hopefully it goes really well, because I really hope that it goes well. It's a very inspirational speech, right? Yeah. Thanks. Too kind. Again, if I say anything means, don't do any knock jokes or stuff, you can totally do it. I honestly don't think it would be very good. Unless you're, really good knock jokes. That's, really funny. Then it's good. Yeah. Alright. Because I can only have, 7 minutes left of this podcast. It's, really hard to do. I don't like about the one thing I don't like about podcasts is you can't even show a picture of your face. It's it really sucks. So yeah, next episode I'm gonna show you how to do a live stream. So there's another feature I'm gonna tell you about in a couple seconds. Oh yes, make sure to, when you sign up for Spreaker, the Spreaker radio, make sure you log in and make sure you're in the right account so that you can edit your own stuff. So yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Guys, thank you guys a lot. Bye.